Namaskar. I am Dr. Sonali Naik. Today we are going to read the 10th chapter from the Gajanan Vijay Granth. Before that, let us do a meditation. Sit quietly, close your eyes, take deep breaths, focus your attention on your Adhyay chakra. See in your mind's eye you are sitting at a very beautiful and a peaceful place. You are filled with happiness and peace. It is a seashore. A cool breeze is blowing. You can hear the beautiful music of the waves. You are meditating upon Lord Rama. Lord Rama is standing in front of you. Seeing him, you are filled with happiness. You bow to him. He blesses you with all health, wealth, and happiness. The protective cover of his blessing stays with you all throughout your life. Within this cover, you are forever guided, forever prospered, forever protected, forever loved. Because of this, your life becomes filled with sweetness, enthusiasm, and happiness. Give thanks, open your eyes. Jai Gajanan. Shri Ganeshaya Nama. O Lord of the cosmos, deity of Pandharpur, you are formless and complete in yourself. You are the protector of virtuous merits. Please don't push me away from your feet. O Narayan, do not disown me or think of my sins. There are no pious deeds to my credit. As such, I don't deserve to come near you. In spite of all this, please accept and oblige me. Accept me like holy Godavari, which lets in the small tributaries. With that, you will save me from my grief and all my sins. You are all powerful, and if you wish, you can do anything. Even a pauper becomes rich with your kind blessings. Once Gajanan Maharaj went to Amravati to stay with Shri Atmaram Bekaji. Atmaram was Kayastha Prabhu by caste, held an important office in the ranks. He was pious and very devoted and adored saints too immeasurably. He worshipped the saint, offering him a bath, anointing him with sandal paste. He offered the saint a silk bordered dhoti from Umred, applied a saffron dot on his forehead. He was honored with flower wreaths and various dishes, savory and sweet, with cash offerings of 100 rupees. This was followed by arti and incense agarbatti. Fragrant flowers were put on his head. All those present wished he was their guest. Though many desired, only few could have the favor, as it requires a lot of pious deeds to one's credit to get the saint to one's house to touch his holy feet. The saint understood things with his divine power and visited only those who had intrinsic merit. There was a leading lawyer in Amravati named Ganesh Shrikant Shri Krishna Kapade. He was wealthy, called Dada Sahib of the Shukla Yajurvedi Brahmin Society. Maharaj went to him at his request. He was offered due respect. There was one Ganesh Appa, a Lingayat Vani, who had a devoted wife named Chandrabai. She told to her husband that somehow the saint should visit their house. She asked Ganesh Appa to go and request the saint to come to visit their tenement. She said, if our thoughts are pious, the saint will agree to visit us, because God is always gracious to devotees he deems precious. Said Ganesh Appa, it's foolish to think so. It requires a lot of recommendation from people of influence to arrange a visit of the saint. Look at the troubles Dada Sahib had to face for taking the saint to his place. In view of this, please don't press the issue further. Said Chandrabhai, I don't agree with this. My mind says he will come to us. The saints have a special affinity for the poor. Thus go and try once and request him to grace us with his visit valuable. Ganesh Appa could not gather courage to put forward his humble request. But Maharaj read his mind and said, I wish to come to your house. Please tell me how far it is from here. You should not hesitate to open your mind and tell me what you want. Come, take me to your place. Ganesh Appa's joy knew no bounds. He took Maharaj to his house. They respectfully worshipped him and offered him all their belongings. Much such worship was offered at Amravati. Present each time was a humble personality. He was the nephew of Atmaram Bhikaji, working as a telegraph master in Mumbai. Parabo had come on leave to see his maternal uncle Atmaram Bhikaji. He felt a great attachment to the saint Sri Gajanan and did not want to leave him for a moment. He thought of mundane attachments as purely transient and decided on renouncing family commitments. These thoughts made him stay with Maharaj, who would reject nectar and take poison. He attended all worship in Amravati with no other reason behind it. After a few days, the saint returned to the Shegaon temple instead of the garden where he was earlier. To the east of the temple was a vacant lot. Maharaj went and occupied the spot. Krishnaji got the news of the saint's coming and abandoning the earlier garden setting. He came and prostrated before the saint and sat there with his head bowed. With tears in his eyes, he wondered why the saint didn't return to the garden. Why are you weeping? What's the grief? Asked Maharaj. Tell me quick. Patil with folded hands asked Gajanan, why did you not return to the garden? What is my unpardonable offense? I am just a child. Please remove the suspense. You are sitting on a piece of land which belongs to the gardener of the Deshmukh clan. Please don't stay here. If you wish, come to my house. I'll vacate it in a minute. Oh saint, let me be clear. I'll give up everything for you to be there. When Patil brothers knew he came, they arrived with a request that he stays with them. To this the saint replied, my being here has a purpose implied. You will realize it later on though. Don't ask me anything now. I assure that this action will settle the feud between the clans of Patil and Deshmukh. People in authority suffer from confusion. They fail to consider the consequence of their action. Please go and call Bankatlal. When I left his house, he was not disturbed at all. Go and ask him why it was so. My blessings are with you and will continue in the future too. When Bankatlal came, he said, don't take him to your place if he doesn't wish to go. I did not obstruct him a bit when he left my place. We are his children. He loves us with the same generous grace always. Sakharam Asolkar, the owner of that plot, is very generous at heart. He won't hesitate to give the land to Maharaj. Once this is done, our future plan will enable all of us to come together. Thus, there was a compromise. A monastery was soon built with Parshuram Savji's relentless efforts. Shri Maharaj had four men of reverence, persons with deep devotion, Bhaskar, Balabhav Pitambar and Ganesh Appa of Amravati. Later on, Ramchandra Gurav joined them with heart to make them five like Pandav of Mahabharata. With Sri Gajanan Maharaj as God Sri Hari amidst the pious lot. Balabhav felt completely resigned from the routine of this worldly life. He did not care for his service. Letters from home asking him to come back could not get him back on track. Bhaskar then said to the saint, Balabhav does not go because of the sweets he gets. I think a good thrashing will show him his place. A monkey can be controlled only with a cane. Big mountains are scared of a thunderbolt in rain. Balabhav was driven out against his wish, but he came back after resigning from service. Bhaskar thrashed him and said bluntly, don't stop bothering us thus frequently. Why do you visit us here like a stubborn bull going to green pastures? Only those who have renounced worldly pleasures enjoy the privilege of being with the seer. Maharaj was not happy at this egoistic talk. To bring back Bhaskar to right thinking, he grabbed the umbrella of someone on visit and started thrashing Balabhav with it. When it broke down, he took a cane and started beating Balabhav again. People got frightened and started running away. Balabhav lay unconscious during this fray. With that beating, many thought he was dead. Bhaskar got worried but said nothing to the saint. Soon the cane too broke into bits. Maharaj started trampling him with his feet as does a potter on mud in the pit. During this time, someone called Krishnaji and Pankaj. They all came Running to the side, they could not save Barabha from his plight. Bankat Lal then gathered some courage and requested Maharaj to curb his rage. Please spare him, O saint, he is your devotee. You have thrashed him a lot, he deserves mercy. At this the saint smiled and said with no regret, You are talking something irrelevant. I have not beaten or trampled Badabhav. You can see it yourself, why don't you? Go and examine his body for scars. Badabhav, get up and show where they are. When he got up, they examined carefully. Not a single scar of beating was seen on his body. He was as happy as he was earlier. This was all staged to teach a lesson to Bhaskar. Maharaj showed Bhaskar the privilege and importance which Balabhava enjoyed in his esteem cannot be mowed down by any means. Bhaskar behaved very well thereafter with his associate. Even gold has to undergo a test to prove its genuineness. One Sukhlal Agrawal of Badapur owned a very wicked cow. She wandered the streets without combs, hurting people with her horns. She entered grocery stores and ate the grains, toppling the rest on the roads. She kicked containers of ghee and oil, spilling the contents on the soil. She would snap the rope when tied at home. She broke the chains with all her vigor. All her movements were that of a tiger. People of Badapur were fed up with her. She was not capable of getting any progeny, never remained in indoor custody. Many advised Suklal to hand her over to a butcher. Get her shot, someone said. Suklal authorized them to do what is best. A Pathan once tried to shoot her. She had sensed it much earlier. Fiercely, she attacked the gunman, throwing him away by her horns. Suklal took her to another town in vain, but she returned to Balapur again. Someone remembered that Govinbua's horse was tamed by Sri Gajanan Maharaj. He advised Suklal to take the cow there and give her away as an offering to the seer, thereby serving a dual purpose, getting rid of the wicked animal without efforts and earning piety by giving a cow to the saint. Everyone liked this suggestion of a gift. Attempts to catch the cow failed at every instance. Then they heaped cotton seeds and green grass as a bait to trap her when she jumped. 15 men surrounded her with sturdy ropes. They caught and chained her from horns to toes and lifted her on the bullock cart to go. They drove her to the town of Shegaon to donate her to Sri Gajanan Maharaj. On her journey, she appeared soothing down. When brought to the saint, she was extremely calm. With tearful eyes, she looked up to the saint, whereupon the Maharaj said, You are all crazy to have tortured the cow, tying her neck, horns, and legs, I vow. Those ropes and chains are a great torture. Such precautions are best only for a tiger. You fools, you know cow is like a mother. You have committed a sin by inflicting pain on her. Please unshackle her at once. She will not do any harm to anyone. Even with this assurance, no one dared touch her. At this, Maharaj went and released her. As soon as she was set free, the cow came near and with folded forelegs bowed to the seer. She went around him thrice with her head hung low and licked his feet with her tongue. People were surprised to see her behavior. The saint talked to the cow in a gentle tone. Oh cow, don't any more bother anyone and live here only from now on. When this happened, people raised cheers in praise of Sri Gajanan this year. The Barapur crowd went back to their city and the cow. The humbled cow stayed back in the monastery. No ropes or chains were needed for her. She moved about as a meek animal. Even today, the town of Shega has a progeny living along. The saints always do good things. They never go wrong. Lakshman Gude, Vajasaniya Brahmin, a rich resident of Karanza village, had an ailment of the stomach which had become acute with his age. He had tried various medicines, spending a lot, but it had no substantial effect. Hearing the name of Gajanan Maharaj, he came with his wife to the saint. The disease was a great pain. All efforts to walk were in vain. He required help to carry him to the monastery. 2, 3 people helped him in the journey. He couldn't even bend to bow down to the saint. His wife bent down and begged for the well-being of her beloved. Her dedicated prayer was, O benevolent Gajanan Maharaj, I am like your daughter. I request you to cure my husband from the agonies of his dreadful disease. When nectar is at hand, messengers of death have to disband. The saint was eating a mango at that time. He threw it on Lakshman's wife. Go, feed this mango to him. This will cure him of the disease. You are his devoted wife. He kept quiet for a while and started smoking his pipe. The lady remained still seated beside. Oh, respected lady, said Bhaskar, do not just sit here. Take your husband back to your place and feed him with the fruit given as a grace. As soon as he swallows the mango nectar, it will cure him from his chronic disorder. She returned to Karanja with her husband and fed the mango to Lakshman. People asked her about the Shega visit. She told them about the saint and the mango gift. She said she gave it to her husband. The doctor said it was all absurd. It will do great harm to Lakshman. It will aggravate his present condition. They quoted ancient Vaidyas of our land, saying how in this case mango juice is banned. They said you could have eaten mango as prasad. The effect would have reached your husband. Everyone started criticizing her, but then a wonder happened. Lakshman had a large purge. This eased his system to a great extent. Slowly he recovered and regained his normal health. His stomach ailment was all cured. Doctors cannot do anything beyond nature. At times like this, the blessings of God and saints help devotees to recover. Lakshman went to Shigao. When he was completely cured, he respectfully asked the saint to visit Karanja and his house there. He said, sanctify my house by the touch of your feet, O saint. At first, Sri Gajanan Maharaj was very much reluctant, but at Lakshman's repeated request, he agreed to visit the place. With Shankar, Bhau, and Pitambar in accompaniment, Lakshman welcomed Maharaj at his house and performed a detailed worship. At the offering of Dakshina, he said, everything here belongs to you, my lordship. Who am I to give you anything? Saying so, he filled a tray with rupees and tendered it at the saint's feet. Maharaj's remarks were astonishing. He said, if you say all this belongs to me, where from did you bring these rupees? Don't try to trick me with your hypocrisy. Since all this is mine according to you, open all doors and throw away the locks. Lakshman kept quiet at this moment. Open the safe and bring out the contents. Lakshman opened it, yet guarded the entrance. He said to the saint, take what you like. Though he said so, he was sincere in his mind. The saint could sense what was going on. An actor cannot pose as a king for long. A bitter fruit may look tempting, hides an astringent taste inside. Saints are unhappy in such surroundings. Maharaj left the place without eating anything. He did not care for Lakshman's property and ornaments. He was himself renunciation incarnate. He wanted to test Lakshman's sincerity when he detected total dishonesty. He just left the place. While departing, he said, you are too selfish trying to own everything. Now be prepared for the further happenings. I came to bless you and double your assets, but it appears you are not destined to get the effect. This forecast came true, and in about 6 months, Lakshman lost his wealth or all his worth. The saint wanted to teach that one should not be vicious, insincere, and dishonest in fulfilling promises. The saint was a jewel. Pebbles didn't beautify him. How can tin trinklets decorate golden essence? Let the devotees benefit by reading this treatise.